New bike day, Dr. Tom. New bike day, Dr. Tom. New bike day, Dr. Tom.
This is my new bike. My lovely assistant, Josh. There we go. The bike I've wanted.
So welcome to New Bike Day, and this is the new BMW R1300 GS adventure bike. So it's the one with the big black tank. The bike I've got is the triple black edition.
Right, so this is the 1300 GS, and as you can see, it is a big bike. So obviously for this model they've changed the headlight, so you've got this crisscross thing, which I actually really like. I know some of the hardened GS guys are not so keen on that. They think it looks a bit predator looking. I prefer it because I thought the other light looked like a cock, so to me it's much better. You've got double disc front brakes and single rear brake. We've only got one swinging arm. So on this side, you've obviously got the shaft drive and just one arm, which I really do like. I love the look of that. So part of the packs that came on this bike as standard, I got the luggage rack for this. That was all included. I've not bought the panniers because I bought them from all my other bikes, and I've only ever used the panniers a few times. I tend to use a top box, use a tank bag, and then when I'm going somewhere away, I'll have a Oxford 70 litre bag over the back there strapped on, and it's just more usable because then you can carry on filtering. However, when you look at the front of the bike, you can see that I don't think the panniers would stick out any further than those crash bars there. So it may be an option to actually get some of these. Now I'm possibly going to get some either second-hand ones or aftermarket ones. And one of the bits you can get with this bike as well is you can get front and rear sensors that give you a warning on your dash that a car's approaching or you're approaching somebody a bit faster. But also the front version, which would go here, is a cruise control radar. So you can set your cruise control, and if you've lost interest, you're going to come up against the car, it'll slow you down automatically. Now to me, I didn't want that. Why would you need that on a bike? You need to be, at your fully wits of, riding this bike. You don't want to be falling asleep and relying on technology to have your wits about you. So to me, it's not something I want. You've got lots of clips here, so I've ordered some bags here, some side bags that just clip into here, easy release. But in there I can keep all my tyre pump, repair kit, and maybe a battery starter, something like that, so they can just permanently stay on the bike. As I say, I do really like this tank bag. You just literally pull that lever and then you can get into your central locked fuel tank. So the other extra I've got on this is the Navman screen, which works off my phone, Apple CarPlay, and you can navigate wherever you want and set it on your phone, or you can set it on this unit. It's touch screen, and whatever's on your phone is on there. So I'm really impressed with that so far. I am going to do a further video on it, and that can be controlled by what I'm calling the Wonder Wheel, but other people call it something else. The other thing I always put on all my bikes is a quad lock. However, I'm now debating, do I need to have my phone on show here? I could put it in the tank bag and just have this screen here, so when I'm doing my London riding or my city riding, I'm not risking my phone being snatched. Yeah, they could snatch that unit out, but it is centrally locked into it. But if they snatch that unit, I've still got my phone. And whereas if I have my phone snatched, I'm really in trouble, because like everybody, you keep everything on it, all your emails, your messaging, your contact list. Very few people have a separate contact list, so it's you know, it's one of those things that maybe you know, I want to think about that, because it's, you know, it's all extra wiring, and I could literally just have that one up there that's self-charging, works on the bike itself, and it's all good. So obviously I've got the camera mounts on it, but I do, you'll see, I do move them around. I have the one on the helmet. What more can I tell you about this bike? There's a full list of extras which I can put in, but yeah, so far so good. Really impressed with it, and unlike a lot of people, I actually love, the thing that attracted me to it was this super tank. And on the triple black version, you've got the brushed aluminium with like this coating on it, and I think it looks absolutely beautiful. And my son Jacob says he loves the weld. So only time will tell. I say I'm going to do a separate video in the next couple of days, comparing the 1300 GS to the 1300 GSA, which is what this is. So watch this space.
So the story behind this bike is that I looked at buying one of these last year, and spec'd it all up at Grimsby Motorrad, and looked at the finance options on it, and for me to have bought it then, I would have needed to have it on finance, which I really didn't want to do, because I'm not a fan of having lots of finance. So in the end, I chose not to, and I thought I'd just keep my eye out for a second-hand one, maybe in a year's time, or something that ex-demo that was a bit cheaper. Anyway, fast forward to I think it was March this year, so we're now in July, and I entered a competition with Apex 66 and won a 1250 GS BMW with a 2020 plate. So it got me thinking. I rode it for a little while and absolutely loved it, and it cemented the fact that I actually wanted one of these. So I went back to Grimsby, give them the first option of this, I definitely want one, and this is the spec I want. I went through all the specs with the manager there, because the sales guy wasn't in. Told him what bike I wanted to trade in. Stupidly, I think, I told him that I'd won it in the competition, and I could have took a £9,000 alternative. So he didn't want to commit to a trading price on my bike there and then. If he had, and he'd offered me the right money, I'd have signed it there and then, but he didn't want to. So next day I had to chase up the sales guy. He was very sheepish about coming up with the trading price. So in the end I said, look, what will you offer me trading for my bike? He said the whole deal is reliant on that. So he said, oh well, the manager said the best we can do on your trading is £9,000. So that was an immediate, no, I'm not doing it, because in the meantime, because they were taking so long to come up with a price, I actually spoke to Peterborough BMW and also Rotherham BMW. Now Peterborough were a little bit more hesitant on the trading price. They were sort of saying, oh yeah, we need to see it, we need to this, but £10,000 sounds doable. Whereas Rotherham, a chap called Joshua there, instantly said, yeah, we can give you £10,000 for your bike, and plus there's also a deal at the moment from BMW that if you trade a bike in for a new BMW, you get an extra £1,300 on your trading. So I knew that from them I'd be getting 11,300 for the trading. So it was a no-brainer. Contacted Josh at Rotherham, and went over and did the deal. Absolutely spot on, Josh was. Everything I wanted was on this bike. They've got one in stock, so it was going to be a fairly quick turnaround. And a few days later, Grimsby phoned me back and said, "Oh, what was the reason behind you not buying from us?" I said, "The £9 trading price for my bike." And he said, "Oh no, that's all it's worth." I said, "Well, it's strange because 2 other BMW dealers have both offered me 10 grand for it plus the 1,300. And he basically said, "Oh, I don't know how they're doing that. There must be a big dealership that are offsetting the money they're going to sell that for, because they won't be able to sell it for much more than 10 grand. And I said, "Well, that's the reason. That's the reason I won't be doing business with you." So I had a bit of a teething problem with it. In the first 3 days, I was going to be doing 500 miles, because I was going down to London, doing the Lady Mayor's show ride, and then back up, and a few little bits in between. So when I tried to book in the service on New Bike Day, I was quite shocked when they told me the earliest service available is the middle of next month. So it was a month away. So I was clearly not happy about this. I spoke to Josh and he said, "Look, it's down to the service department." So eventually I got through to Matthew, I think he's the dealer principal, and basically good as gold, although he couldn't move the dates, because obviously the dates are the dates. This junction I hate, because people like this guy in the white car leave you stranded in the middle of a function. So, yeah, Matthew, he arranged for me to go and pick one of their bikes up and drop this off, so this could be serviced and get it done that way, and job's a good one. So, the overall buying experience from Rotherham was fantastic. Got everything I needed on the bike. Everything I wanted, I got all the extras I needed. Very, very painless picking it up and getting my old one there. So, would I recommend Rotherham Motorrad? Absolutely. They are genuine first-class people. If they make a mistake, they'll stick their hands up and say, "Yeah, we'll sort it." And they give me a great price for my trading bike. There was no quibbling on that. Don't get me wrong, they wanted top price for their bike, but if you're getting top price for your bike as well, you don't mind, do you? You know, you've got to be fair with the deal, and the deal was done. If you look in the market for a BMW, give Rotherham a chance, because absolutely first class with me, especially if you've got another BMW trade-in. They were really good with it. So here I am on my new bike. So what's my favourite feature about this bike? I do like the central locking on it, so the back box centrally locks and the fuel tank does. I also like the electrical operated screen, so you're not having to fanny about lifting things up, you just press the button here. Not quite got used to this controller here for getting into all the settings and the hamburger menu, but you know, it's early days for me on that one. But if I'm sat still, you know, at the side of the road or in the garage or whatever, I can get into most things. It's just sussing out how to operate them whilst the bike's moving. So at the moment I've got this switch down here operating the screen, whereas I can change that to, say, heated seats or heated grips and you know, other things. So it's quite yeah, it's got quite a lot of options on it, but so I've just got to suss them out. But so far, I'm absolutely in love with this bike. It's without a shadow of a doubt the best bike I've ever bought, and the service at Rotherham Motorrad has been second to none. And when you look at the trading price Grimsby offered me, I mean, £1,000, and that was the difference they were offering. Is it greed? I don't know. Obviously Virtue's a bigger group possibly, and maybe they can shift it, you know, my trading, but it's got full BMW service history, so in theory they should be able to sell it as an approved BMW, which then they can put it up at maybe 11,500, maybe 12, because it is in mint condition. It's got full service history and mint condition. There's not a blemish on the paintwork. So that's new bike day, and this was Dr. Tom's Throttle Therapy new bike day.